Revealed Queensland as Australia's youth crime capital. Data obtained by the Courier Mail reveals more than 7,000 teenagers were sentenced in the state last year. That's almost 2,000 more than New South Wales and almost 3,000 in Western Australia. Queensland State Government says it is committed to bringing down crime rates, adding that youth crime had increased significantly under the previous government. Joining us live is criminology expert Dr Terry Goldsworthy. Great to see you as always. So, just looking at the Courier Mail there, Terry, veteran criminal lawyer Bill Potts made comments about it's not necessarily an increase in crimes. It could be from better policing and bringing more people in before the courts. What do you think of those comments?
Yeah, these figures are interesting, and it's good that the ABS is getting this data out for us to have a look at. What that figure tells me is that we're seeing youth offenders come out the other end of the justice process. So, we know from the Queensland Crime Report was released last week, and it showed for 23-24 there'd actually been a decrease in the number of youth offenders processed by the police. So I'm not surprised. I'm not overly concerned that we've seen an increase of about 5% in the ABS data showing youth offenders being finalised, their matters finalised in court last year. I guess what this shows is that we did have very high levels of youth offending. We still have problems. I mean, Queensland accounts for 33% of youth offenders. That's out of proportion to our population. We have more than twice the youth offenders of Victoria. So we have a serious issue in terms of youth offending here. We still have some 420 serious repeat offenders as of December last year, and they commit 19% of our crime for youth crime, and they consist of 19% of our youth offenders, but commit 52% of the crime. So there's still challenges for the government. Ironically, the report that came out last week in Queensland showed that crime had started to decline under the last months of the Labor government, but it came too late to save them.
Tell us more, Terry, about the laws, including adult time, adult crime.
Yeah, so the LNP government, when it came to power, rolled out Making Queensland Safer package, which includes things like access of media to youth crime matters in court, full criminal histories being made available for sentencing processes, etc. The big signature ticket was adult time, adult crime laws, where the theory was that a youth offender would get sentenced to the same extent as an adult offender. There would be no restrictions on that anymore. What happened as that rolled out, it was obvious that a number of offences hadn't been included that should have been included. So last week we saw those offences expanded to 33 offences to include things like torture, rape, drug trafficking, and a number of others. So will it make any difference to youth offending? I don't think it will. We've seen a 5% decrease in the amount of youth offenders arrested by police over the last 12-month reporting period. So I think tough bail laws are biting. I think increased policing, targeted policing that we've seen in terms of Risky Legion is an operation that's been rolling out across the state for almost 12 months now, is starting to bite. And finally, we've realised that we just need to concentrate on the offenders who are behaving very badly, and that's the serious repeat offenders. And I think we're starting to get a handle on how we can manage those now. So, the adult time, adult crime, I don't think it'll make any difference. I see the government claim that it was linked to the reduction in crime. We've had a very small reduction in the crime rate in 2024, but we're still at historic 20-year highs. And the ironic thing is that the number of offences actually increased. And that's problematic for the Premier, because he said he was going to reduce victim numbers. So he may be in a place where he reduces the crime rate, but not the numbers.
With 30 seconds to go, Terry, you mentioned a lot of stats there and a lot of what we can do. And reading again, the most common principal offence was a breach of a domestic violence order. What else can be done? Education in schools, what else?
Yeah, look, I mean, you've got to have crime intervention programs, which we've seen the government start to put tenders out for. So you want to stop them before they get into the offending, and you address the causal factors. If they're not engaged with education, you need to get them engaged. If they're not getting good parenting, then you need to engage the parents and increase those parenting skills. If they're using drugs, then you need to put them into a program to assist in rehabilitation. At the other end, we've had a distinct lack of rehabilitation programs. There's also tenders out for them now. So when someone does their time and gets out, what are we going to do to make them a productive member of society is also equally important.
All right. great advice and really appreciate you joining us once again, Terry Goldsworthy. Thank you.